Hey guys, happy Sunday. How are you guys doing today? Today I just want to kind of chill and just have a really candid conversation with you guys. It's a really snowy day here in the Windy City. Beautiful day though. I'm looking out my windows, the snow. I mean, it's lovely when you don't have to be be outside in it. So I felt, today is a good day for me to record my power chat video. But today I just wanted to be really candid and just have like a really open conversation. The message though is your voice, your story, God's glory. Now, the reason I wanted to do this message in particular is because I want you guys to understand as we start to, or as the chains start to become like where they start breaking off of our lives, the strongholds, and as we challenge the status quo, as we renew our minds, so forth and so on, you have to understand that all roads ultimately lead back to God. We were created for His glory and for His honor. So, we all have a voice, right? So our voice doesn't necessarily, I'm not necessarily speaking about an audible voice, right? So you can have an audible voice. I mean, you might be a speaker or whatever, but your voice is your expression. It's the way that you express yourself in the earth, right? So you could be a poet, you could be a writer, you could be a dancer, you could be an artist. It's the gift that God gives you, and you use that gift to express yourself. That's your voice in the earth, right? And then we all have a story. Everybody has a story. So one of the patterns that I see in the Bible, and I just see in life in general as to how God works, is that oftentimes He takes tragedy and creates triumph. So what He does is He creates a tragic situation, but then in the end, He gets the victory. His name becomes glorified. His name becomes magnified in the earth as a result of the tragedy. So, excuse me, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. So if you look, probably the most obvious example is the story of Jesus Christ, right? So He was born in a lowly manger. He didn't come in lavish and, lavish lifestyle, anything like that. He had humble beginnings. He learned and grew up in the synagogues. And around the age 30, he started to minister, started to heal, go out and, get the word of God out and try to, save humanity. But he went through, oh my God, if he had to tell his story, I can't even imagine what that would look like, because they put him through living HE double hockey sticks, right? They put him through the works. I mean, they beat him, they spit on him, they ridiculed him, they mocked him. He went through it all. I mean, and there was a time, I know it's a story in the Bible, where he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he was like literally sweating drops of blood, and he had basically asked God to remove the cup from him. And then he said, nevertheless, not my will, but thine will be done. So at some point, it became a lot on him. There were many times he would go by himself and just pray, pray by himself, because the weight, the load of it all was so heavy on him. So yes, it was a story of tragedy that ultimately ends in triumph. And ultimately, it was about giving God glory and honor. That's why He said, nevertheless, not my will, but thine will be done. So then you also have the story of Joseph. His own brothers sold him into slavery, threw him into a pit because they were jealous of him. They were jealous of him. This is his flesh and blood. They threw him into a pit, left this man or this boy for dead, right? Long story short, he goes through all types of stuff, goes to prison, has Potiphar's wife hitting on him, just all kind of stuff. And basically, it's a dream that would like open up his life and ultimately lead him to the palace. And so, long story short, what ends up happening is he ends up like in a higher position, and his brothers, the same ones that threw him into this pit, they ultimately ended up, there was a famine in the land years later. They didn't even recognize Joseph when they came in contact with them, because he had evolved and God had elevated him so much from the time that they like literally threw him in the pit. But he recognized them because his love for them, he never stopped loving them. They were his brothers, So he could have been bitter, he could have been angry, he could have told them, I ain't giving you nothing, but he didn't do that because he understood that God needed to get the glory out of that situation. And he didn't have any hurt or any animosity or any envy against them. And so he helped them in spite of what they did to him. Once again, a very tragic story, but that's their story. That's his voice. But ultimately, once again, all roads lead back to God. It's about His glory and about His honor. The last story I want to talk about really quickly, and I'm not going into great lengths with this. I'm going to give you a reference at the end as to where you can look up these stories if you want to read further. The story of Moses. Moses was literally put on the Nile River, and that was basically to spare his life, because after the Passover, they were putting marks on the doors, and that was to prevent him from being one of the babies that got killed. So his parents just took a leap of faith and said, we're just going to put him on the river, and we're going to trust God that God will position him and get him to where he needs to go. Fast forward, years down the line, he's grown, he's fine, and God calls him. He had an issue with, I believe he had an issue with stuttering. So he had a speech impediment, and God calls him to go and free the children of Israel to basically free them from the hands of Pharaoh. And so he didn't necessarily feel like he was equipped. Now, he did get mad because he was supposed to lead them into the promised land, but he got mad and threw the 10 commandments down. And then Joshua ended up coming and leading them into the promised land. But in any case, Moses was called. Here's this little baby that was like left on the river, and he was called to do great works for God. So once again, this message is your voice, your story, his glory, So what I wanted to talk to you about is that, yes, we all have a voice, we all have a story, but ultimately all things are about God's glory and honor. And I wanted to talk to you also about how when you start to break these chains in your life and you start to challenge the status quo, I want to talk to you about how the enemy will challenge you. Just like God has an agenda, the enemy has an agenda. And I just wanted to get kind of personal and kind of candid with you. So, oh my God, so I launched this brand January 1st, right? It was about a year and a half in the making for me to launch the brand itself. A lot of preparation. I had to get the logo ready. I wrote a book, and most of you guys know I work a regular 9-to-5 job too. So I'm trying to do all of that and still get up and do what I need to do to provide for myself, right? So that was a process by itself. Okay, so I finally get everything together and I'm ready to launch the brand. That went off pretty well. It didn't have any major issues. I will say this, I did get a little sick right before the new year. Thought I might have had COVID, but it was a scare. Nothing happened that was negative. But so that happened, but it didn't prevent me from going forward and doing what I needed to do. So I'm like, okay, we good. So I go to record the first video, not a problem. I'm introducing the brand or whatever. Oh my God. Last weekend, I go to record that video when I talked about social media, the social media fairy tale. When I tell you the devil attacked the crap out of me. He attacked the crap out of me. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? So I know that I'm fairly new at this, so it does take me probably a little bit longer than most people, but this was ridiculous, okay? So generally speaking, I'll do like a couple of maybe 3 to 4 takes of these videos until I get them kind of like the way that I want them. And one of the things that God has kind of shown me, He's shown me, Lolita, the videos don't have to be perfect. Just make them relatable and just be who you are. Allow my strength to shine through you. And your weakness is where my strength shows up. So that kind of took a lot of the burden and a lot of the stress and the nervousness, because you get on video and you don't want to look a certain way. And God says, just be who you are. Let me work through you. So that kind of freed me up. And that's why this video today, I'm like, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to try my best not to use the index cards, because I know I've been using my cheat sheets. I am going to look at them at the end because I want to give you some scripture references. But at the end of the day, God started to show me it's not that serious. You need to understand that I am working through you. Don't worry about this being perfect. But anyway, back to my story. So last weekend, oh my God, the devil was, oh my God, he was driving me insane. So I go to record the video. So when did I record the video? Okay. So I got up Friday morning. I was off of my regular job. I said, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to record this video. Oh my God. So I get up to record the video. That went fine. I recorded the video, did a few takes, didn't take me that long. Was able to record the video and was like, okay, that's done. So I'm like, it's a few platforms. I got to kind of get the thumbnail on there and transfer stuff over. Okay, my phone is ringing. But anyway, So I had to transfer stuff over, and then you don't have to upload it to the YouTube platform. But I would say altogether, depending on how long the video is, that takes maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour at the most. So like I was done with the video maybe by, I don't know, 11 or 12. So I figured by 1 or 2 at the latest, I should be done and I should be able to relax and kind of enjoy my day. Nope. Can I tell you, Satan attacked the crap out of me? It was like 11 o'clock at night. Let me tell you, I could not get this thing to upload to save my soul. I tried every platform. I tried on my phone. I got 2 laptops. I tried on both of my laptops. I tried on my tablet. Everything I tried, nothing would work. So I'm like, okay. So I called T-Mobile. That's who my cell phone provider is. I called T-Mobile, and I'm getting this message on my phone that I got too much stuff, that I gotta like get rid of some stuff because it's like basically causing me to not be able to do certain functions on the phone. So I called T-Mobile. They introduced me to Google One. They're like, okay, you can get Google One. It's like $5 more a month on your bill. I'm like, okay, fine. It's basically, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. I had never heard of it, but it's basically where you can back up your pictures and all your stuff so that you can free up the space on your phone, because I think that's what was happening. But it took me, like, I had got up at 10 in the morning. It took me from 10, it was like 11, no, by the time let me tell you what happened. So I got the Google One thing, right? Downloaded all my photos and stuff. That took some time to do all of that. So I had that backed up. Thought I was good. Saw the videos, was like, okay, I'm good. Lost the entire video, which means I had been working on this stuff for like 11, 12 hours, a process that should have taken no longer than like an hour, maybe no, I said maybe 2 to 3 hours, because I'm still fairly new. So like I said, I'm still learning this whole process. Oh my God. When I tell you, I'm just going to be very transparent. I wanted to cry. I was so frustrated, because it would have been fine if I had like not been able to get the stuff downloaded, but to like lose the entire video, it was like, oh my God, I got to take this whole video. Not to mention, I had to get up and go to work the next day. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, okay, fine. When I get off of work, I would just come in, because I got like the, what do you call the thing? The ring light. So even if it's dark outside, I have enough light, and in my apartment, I have enough natural sunlight, and then I have the ring light and some other lights. So it would still look fairly decent. It wouldn't be like I'm doing something at night. I get home. No, let me go back. So before I get home, I take the train to and from work. So I said, I'm not going to make any stops, because sometimes I do whatever. I get off work and go here, go there. And this particular day, I'm like, nope, I'm going straight home. I'm not going to fool around. I'm going to come home, because I got to get this video recorded. And plus, I knew that next day I had some plans to go to lunch with a friend and had some other stuff I needed to do. So I'm like, it's going to be a kind of busy day, and I'm not going to have time. And I didn't want to try to like rush this. I want to be able to like do it as smoothly as possible. So I'm like, no, I'm going to come straight in. Why, when I get off of work, the train is delayed. I said, oh my God, the devil is really trying me. I just spent 10 or 11 hours the day before trying to get this stuff done. Couldn't get it accomplished, was frustrated. The video vanished in my attempt to transfer it over to the Google One. And then after that, I get off work, make these plans. I'm not going to go in. I'm going to come straight home. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to go straight home so I can get this done. Because what I didn't want to do is be wrestling with, I got to get ready to go to lunch, even though I wasn't planning on going to lunch with my friend till like 1 or 2. So I knew I would have some time, but I don't like to put myself in predicaments where I'm really tight like that for time. Oh my God. So, okay. Long story short, I was able to get the video uploaded, but it was, when I say the devil fought me tooth and nail, and I kept saying, Lord, what is this video going to like revolutionize the world or something? I mean, like, the devil is fighting me tooth and nails. I'm telling you this story because yes, you have a voice. Yes, you have a story, and all roads lead back to God, and it's about his glory and honor, but you also have a devil that is going to fight you every step of the way. Let me tell you, he is going to fight you every step of the way. I'm laughing now, but last weekend, I'm telling you, I was pulling my hair out. I was so frustrated. So that was that. Okay. Another thing I want to share with you guys, it has nothing to do with these videos, but one of the things that I decided for the year of 2022 is I take this seriously. I am very passionate about this. I feel that God gave me a platform and I want to make sure that I'm using my platform properly and that I'm doing this with a level of excellence and that I'm honoring Him. And so I want to make sure that my personal life is in order too. So this year I decided, and this is kind of being transparent, probably sharing too much, but anyway, so this year I decided two things I want to really work on. I don't drink a lot of soda, so I want to be very clear. I don't even buy soda for my house or for my apartment. But when I'm out, a lot of times I'll drink soda. So that's one thing I'm trying to do. I drink a lot of green tea. I was drinking green tea like crazy. And I don't know if you guys know, I'm anemic. So I take iron usually a few times a week, iron supplements, and I do a B12 shot. So I give myself a shot every month to keep my B12 levels up. And so one of the things I read online is that tea, in particular caffeine, those things, it kind of makes the whole point of you taking the B12, it's almost like counterproductive. So it's like I'm taking it and then that's drawing more of it out of me. So it's like kind of like, it's like basically counterproductive. So it's like I'm doing one thing and then the tea or the caffeine is making it come out of me. So I'm not retaining it, I guess you could say. So I started to think about, this is a new year, a new beginning. I have a new brand. And there are a lot of things I want to do differently. So I decided to change that up. I've been drinking a lot of water. And basically, for the most part, I haven't been drinking anything outside of water. I do have Crystal Light. I'll pour some of that into my water sometimes when I want like a little hint of sweetness. I've been doing that, been struggling with that. My body is like not adjusting well to it. It has been crazy with that. What else? Oh, I have to be also honest. I do play lottery, or I did play lottery. I'm not like obsessed. I don't play numbers and all of that. That's not my thing. I will, or I have in the past when the jackpots, when it got big, the Mega Millions, Powerball, all of that. From time to time I would get into that. But my thing is the instant scratch offs. And I don't buy those a lot, but if I'm in 7-Eleven or somewhere buying something else, I might be like, okay, let me get a few of those while I'm in here. And I kind of got that from my granny. My granny was more into that, but I'm not into it to that degree. But I decided this is the year that I want to just completely break that chain off for me. I want to make sure that my life, as much as possible, I'm not perfect. Obviously, I need God's grace each and every day to get it right. But yeah, I want to make sure that my life is lining up with what I'm saying in these videos. So I wanted to be honest. But when I tell you, baby, the devil is, he will fight you. Let me tell you, I decided not to do the lottery. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that even play the numbers, any of that stuff. Like I said, it's an occasional thing that, like, if I'm in 7-Eleven or something, or in a grocery store or whatever, and they have tickets, I'll get a few of the scratch tickets. Baby, when I tell you the devil started attacking my finances, I said, you ain't gonna make me stop believing. I believe and I'm free, and you ain't gonna. What he does is he puts doubt in your mind. So now it's like, also you trying to stop doing the lottery. I'm gonna attack your finances. And then, like I said, I'm trying to get away from drinking so much soda, trying to drink more water than my stomach. It's been crazy. So I wanted to say all of that to say, yes, you do have a voice. God gives you a gift. He gives you a way to express yourself in the earth. He also gives you a story, and your story, everybody's story is different. And one of these days I'll sit down and tell my story. I'm not there yet where I want to do that, but we each have a story. But all roads, as I said, lead back to God. Everything that we do, if we are working for Him, is for His glory and for His honor. I do want to say, as you move forward in this journey, as you start to break the chains, as you challenge the status quo in your life, that you are going to have to fight with the flesh. The devil works through the flesh. The Bible says that we are to crucify our flesh. And He says, take up your cross daily and follow me. That means every single day you have to fight the flesh. It also says that we need to be renewing our minds. The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It says, take every thought captive. Anything that doesn't line up with the will of God, you need to take those thoughts captive, casting down any imaginations or anything that go against what God's will is. Those are things that we need to be doing in our lives, because the enemy works through the flesh. The flesh wants what feels good. It wants what feels good. We have to trust God. We have to humble ourselves. We have to know that in our weakness is not easy. Trust me when I tell you, it is not easy dying to yourself. It is not easy crucifying the flesh. It's not easy. And the reason it's not easy in general, is because you've been so accustomed to what feels good. And you have to get to a point where you can say, God, this don't feel good. Oh my God, I'm struggling. And let me tell you, not only does it not feel good, but the devil will magnify the intensity of it, the not feeling good, so that you can give up and say, this isn't working or this is not worth it. But God says to keep pushing forward. He has something that he wants to do through you. He gave you your voice. He gave you your story. And all he wants you to do is humble yourself, die to yourself, and allow him to work through you. Allow his glory and honor, his power to be revealed in the earth. I love you. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. I want to just kind of reference, and I told you I got through this video. I didn't use any cheat sheets, but I am going to reference some scriptures so you can kind of know where I got some of these scriptures if you want to reference them. So renewing your mind, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That came from Romans 12:2. When I spoke about crucifying the flesh, that was basically about take up your cross and follow me daily. Every day flesh should be dying. Little by little, flesh should be dying. And trust me, I'm telling you these stories because the devil is going to, it's hard in general, but he gonna make it hard. Trust me. Matthew 16:24 for that one. Taking every thought captive. That is 2 Corinthians 10:5. If you want to learn more about the story of Jesus, I would just say you could probably look at that through, let me see where I get the story of Jesus. You probably want to just start at the book of Luke, because it's a whole lot of books that talk about, as he starts to get into his ministry at around the age of 30. Joseph, if you want to learn more about the story of Joseph, you can go to like Genesis. It's like Genesis chapter 37 through 50. And then if you want to learn more about Moses, you can start at the book of Exodus. So that kind of gives you an overview. That is my message for today. Once again, to recap, God gives you a voice. He gives you a story, but it's all for his glory. I want to say to you ladies, I love you. I love you. I love you with the love of Jesus Christ. I can't reiterate how excited I am and how motivated I am to be doing these messages. I thank God for putting on my heart to understand that these messages don't have to be perfect. I have to allow him to work through me. I have to be humble enough to allow my weakness I have to allow myself to be weak, shall I say, in order for his strength to manifest through me. I believe that he will get the glory and honor out of this video and all the videos ahead. I am so proud of myself today. I literally did not use any cheat sheets until I got to the end. So I'm happy. I'm proud. Like I said, I think when he lifted that burden of me having to be perfect on these videos, that made all the difference in the world. I just have to simply be me. I have to simply be present enough and open enough to allow him to work through me. And that is what I will continue to do. I hope and pray I get better at this. If there's any insight or anything that you guys want to impart, any wisdom on how I can make things better, I encourage it. I think I said this, I don't remember, but if I didn't say this early on, today is my younger cousin's birthday. Brandon, happy birthday. And my other cousin's birthday is tomorrow. Antoine, happy birthday. I'm happy that God allowed both of you guys another day on this earth. If you like this video, thumbs up. And feel free to leave comments if you have any feedback. I appreciate it. I'm always appreciative for any feedback. My furnace is coming on, so that is my cue to go. Until we meet again, Katalambano it. Peace out.